right, here is more to that lab and how to take it on. I'm really only looking at question 1 and 2 right now just to get you started on this, and I can offer a lot more. The idea was to get the size of the monthly payment on that last calculation, and if you remember where I left off in the last video is we had this idea of we're taking a loan at 4.25% down here in the orange stuff of $20,000. Periodic loan rate is because we're doing periods per year is 12. So what we'll see in here is the 4.25 I have in B13 divided by 12 gives me that 0.35%. That's the percentage interest that I get charged times this lovely amount to the left here. And so we made this chart that went equal. I clicked on that 0.035. I multiplied it with the Shift 8, clicked on the 20,000, and voila, I got my interest. Now, that formula is awesome because it always says, hey, number to the left of me, I'm going to multiply by this 0.35% in my constants column. But I made a big deal out of, since that 0.35 in the constants column, the B column, is something I really do want to keep constant. You have to put this dollar sign between the B and the 15 in order to maintain its constancy. So there it is. Hit enter. If I drag this out, which is to copy and paste that formula, it doesn't do anything, because there's no number to the left of all of these different interests. So I need to come up with my loan balance, which is always the sum of what you had before plus interest. Interest is something that costs you, so you have to put that in there. Okay, so I put that on there. And if I hit enter, all is well. It should give me that number. Now, is it dynamically what I want it to be? The formula reads, says G3 plus H3. But what that is to your computer is the cell above and the cell to the right are added together. And if I copied that formula all the way down, that's actually a good thing, because I want to add, in each case, cell above plus the new interest, cell above plus the new interest to get my current interest. Each cell is the sum of the two things above it. Okay, so all is well. Looks good. Had a weird font change in there. I don't know why. So now, how long do you do this? Well, we want to count up. We're doing it for 24 months. And so pardon my little bit of lisp. I have to do this stupid dental thing. Happen to do it right now while I'm recording a video for you guys, so you can make fun of it, because I'm trying to talk through this stuff on my teeth. All right, here you go. Would have been more fun if I had Graham with me, our 2-year-old. He loves to get involved in these videos, so he enters them once in a while. Watch out. More weird font stuff going on. Remember, the year calculation was always 1/12, or whatever's happening in years. In this case, we're doing, we're doing periods. There's 24 of them. We're calling them by months. And if you remember, I did kind of added up 12ths along the way. So I'm going to put in 0 here. So each new year calculation, like this one period, is actually equal to 1/12. And so it's 1 divided by this number 12 that was in here, and I did B5 as a dollar sign, so I want to make it a constant. And we made this just drag out all the way down. And oops, sorry about that. I forgot to add it to the one up there. Did I do divided by? I forgot to add it to the one above it. So the formula read as 1/12 added to the previous, or 1/5, whatever is in there, gets added to the cell above it. And I forgot to add that part. So if I click on that cell above, hit a plus sign, bam, we got it. So it should be D3. I'm adding to it 1/5, which is this 12 number that's in there. There we go. And then if I drag it out, what it's thinking is I'm going to add 1/12 to the number above me. And there we go. There go my 2 years. So we did this before. You can go back to a previous video to check that out some more. But the formula is the cell above it, D3 plus 1/B5 with the dollar sign on the B5. Okay, got our periods, got all that stuff. I'm going to have to fix this font thing. It's driving me bonkers, but I'll do that later. You want to match up. So see how I stopped short on my loan balance column over here? To make them the same length, I can just go to the bottom row, highlight it, and then just drag it down. It'll repeat the formulas, both of them, all the way down to where I want to stop, okay, in that part. We got to fix this font thing. It's killing me. So I'm going to highlight all of it, make it all Times New Roman. Perfect. Yeah, here we go. Times New Roman 12 point. Bingo, now they all look good. Okay. The rest of it, I think, is all nice. And then didn't I say over here, if you made it the loan balance, and if you went over there and typed on there equal to, and you clicked on the last cell where you want to observe, the current loan balance. That way what you can do is, and remember we had to incorporate a payment, so we went to our payment is something that you take away from the loan. So we actually added in something to our formula in that, what is that, G3 column. You want to take out, subtract from it, any payment that you make, which I'm going to use from B17. Again, that's a B columnar. It's a constant, so make sure you put a $sign between the B and the number. Whoops. And got it. That's my warning to stop here in a minute. Okay, so B17, hit enter. Now that formula is fixed for one cell. Now I'm going to drag it out for the rest of them. And we should be good. All right, getting everything to work. Bingo. Now that incorporates the payment, if I put in, remember we stopped at like $500. Bingo. Now my balance is down to 9,000. So 500 wasn't enough. Keep paying higher. I'm interested in finding within $1, let's say, the payment amount that would pay this thing off in 24 months. So keep tweaking that payment till it works. Now, part 2 is determine the total interest that is earned in your bank account 3% wise along the way. So I'm going to show you that real quick and kind of wrap up this piece of the video. The way banks work, and this is all the yellow column stuff over there, same idea with interest. You are given, an equal sign, and I'm going to calculate the interest, which is based on my bank rate of 3% and the periodic rate, because we apply it every month. We're going to use that periodic rate times my balance to the left. And don't remember my B7 stuff with the $sign in there. There's the interest. I'm going to earn 50 bucks in that month because of my interest rate of 3% broken up into 12 equal parts applied 12 times a year. Okay. Now if I go down here, again, I can drag out that interest formula, but it'll have zeros in there because I currently don't have any numbers in the cell to the left. But once I create this next principal amount, I'll be good to go. Now, just like in the last one, your balance will be principal above it plus the interest that particular month. And this is a good thing because it keeps growing. Now, what we can do also is we can incorporate a payment as well into this. And I'm actually going to make a new item. But if I just hit enter, this is good. I'm going to hit enter and then drag it out. And you'll notice that now my interest thing, this is really cool because what happens is you're seeing the interest grow. The amount of interest being applied grows because your balance is growing. You're just adding that money in there. Now, if I want to add with a bank, a payment that I might make to a bank is payment 2 that would add to rather than take away. Because if you remember in our loan amount, our payments were taking away from the balance versus in the bank, I'm going to put down here, I'm going to put in a bank payment option. You can put this in there too because it's kind of nice. And the bank payment, I'm going to sneak in there. I'll just leave a little column for it. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my formula. I'm going to allow myself to make a payment if I want. If I go into that cell, E4, what I can do now is I can add to it any payment I want by clicking on that, was it B10, that cell next to bank payment. Again, it's in the B column, put a $sign on that dude. Got it. Copy it down to the end of our Excel spreadsheet. There you are, making that money. Now, what I could do is I could compare something. Here's the scenario that I'm going to propose to you in a different little question later. It's this: what if I pay cash for a car, or if I take a loan from a bank? Have you ever thought about this? What if you had $20,000 in cash? You could buy the car with cash, or you could go to the bank and get the loan. Now, if you have the cash and you pay for it, you don't have to take a loan. You can effectively put that $20,000 in the bank. It can earn this 3% interest. And instead of making a car payment, which you could afford because you took that loan before apparently, you could make a payment to yourself. So if I put 500 in there, now check this out. Whoa, things just got really cool. I'm adding $500 a month to this. So what if I just paid cash for took a loan for the car, took my car payment, and so I'm doing this the back way around. If I kept my money, made a car payment, there's a lot of money that earns in there. So there's some funny questions you could answer with this. I'm going to put 0 in there right now because you guys can decide. This is just the idea of now you have a spreadsheet that works to give you a sense of, if I put money in the bank and let it grow just with interest, that's what's in there right now. This is interest only, growing. Or now that I've written in it with this plus B10 inside here, if I put a number in that B10 bank payment section, I can put a monthly amount in there and see how my money grows. So that should allow you to do some interesting things as far as growing your money. Now, number 2 says, hey, what's the total interest paid on the loan? That's something that comes up. If you want to do any total interest paid on a loan, it's giving you a suggestion to go to cell F29 or something like that and put in there. That's way down here at the bottom, so maybe I should follow the rules. It says in F29, type in the formula equal SUM, and then it says type F3 to F26, or just highlight. What you're doing is you can sum up these interest amounts that start in F3 and now go down to F. Mine go to 27, so I'll do that and hit enter. And that little starry thing you're seeing right there is just because it doesn't fit. If I expand this a little bit, make it wider, it'll accommodate that amount. Sometimes the dollar or the number signs mean it doesn't fit. That formula is saying sum the column above me, F3 to F27. I can actually copy, if I use the copy option, and paste that same formula over here on the cell below the next column, and it'll do the same thing. So I can just go copy over here, do paste, and what it did is it pasted the formula, but when you pasted it, it changed it to H's instead of F's. And that's a good thing. This used to be F3 to F27, now it's H. When you paste, remember it thinks of the cells locally, like, hey, sum the column F stuff above me, or the stuff above me, and when I pasted it, it's still doing that. So you get a sense of, these by the way are total interest, because it added up all the interest you paid in that 24 months. Total interest. All right, that'll get you through a couple questions. Enjoy, there's more to